Hello, world. Yay. Well, I guess I'm going to stick to that because, like I said last time, I, I'm going to stick to that. I said last time, I think, if I remember correctly, I was talking about perfectionism. The point of that, and I don't know if I got it across very well, was even if I don't know exactly how or what or have the skills and experience required to do something as well as I want to, I'm going to keep at it. And that's what I want to talk about today, specifically the word commitment. I decided to start making these videos for a variety of reasons, but there are a variety of reasons that have kept me from starting. And as I talked about last time, it's the desire to make things perfect, and that was holding me back from even starting at all. And I feel like the cure, the antidote to perfectionism is commitment. At least that's something I've come to realize in my own life, and it's what I've come to believe. And that can change over time, right? I might have new opinions or discover new things or learn through experience or through others of other steps that are necessary, or rather just there are things that I know that haven't come to the surface or just haven't had a chance to talk about yet. But the idea of commitment, I believe, is so vital to working through this idea of perfectionism that's held me back. Yesterday I saw an incredible video. I wish I remembered now the name of the channel, but it was about how being intelligent actually can hold you back, how it can stop you from you can lose, I think was kind of the idea. You can lose to those who don't have as much intelligence. There are a lot of things that resonated with me there. Well, basically the whole thing, it felt like it was not a personal attack. It wasn't an attack at all. It was a call to action, not an attack, but felt like it was written just for me in so many ways. I've struggled with many of those exact same feelings of, well, this is hard. I've never had to do anything that felt hard, just move on. And that's true in many senses, not just intelligence, but getting through school is the main experience of most children, right? You're getting through elementary, then middle school and high school. And if you're not challenged, you don't learn how to face challenge. And the closest I came to facing challenge was in sports, right? I playing basketball and running and track. I'm glad I did do those, even though I wasn't great and I didn't do probably as best as I could. I did it. And so I still did face some challenges that even if like getting good grades wasn't hard for me because of the way, because of just wasn't for me. I can't say exactly why. I don't know why. It just was always like, oh, well, just do your homework. And I got good grades. Doesn't mean I didn't struggle in other ways. I played way too many video games. Like I already mentioned a minute ago, I didn't do as well in sports as I could have. I just wasn't driven, really. The only thing that I felt committed to was getting my good grades. And so even though it wasn't maybe as hard for me as it might be for others, it was something I was committed to. I did decide in 8th grade that I wanted to get straight A's in high school. And because of that, I made it happen. There were definitely times I could have gotten, a lower grade if I just let it slide. Yeah, A minus, B plus, good enough. I'll still get into good schools or whatever. But in 8th grade, a counselor, advisor from high school came to talk to us about how things were going to be different in high school. And one thing that talked about was how the grades matter in high school. At that point, all the grades mattered for getting into college. And I don't remember much else than that. Just that idea stuck with me that, okay, if I'm going to get the best chance I have later to get into college I want, or whatever I want to do, getting good grades is what I want. And well, in a way, it's easier to aim for straight A's than, at least 3.5 or something. Just get straight A's. And there were times where I had to stay up late or get work done, or I don't know if I ever got up early to do homework, but I did get up early to study scriptures and go to early morning seminary and jazz band and choir. Yeah, jazz band was, I think, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and choir was Tuesday, Thursday. Another reason why I probably didn't, I just chose to do those instead of sports in the morning. There was, there was a workout thing in the morning, and so I made a choice which one I wanted to do, and I did those things specifically because I made a commitment to get those good grades. I made a commitment to start making these videos, whatever the outcome is. There are a lot of thoughts, right? And I feel like I have things that I can share and help other people, because there have been people on the internet that, and in my personal life, but I specifically, putting this out here on the internet because there have been people on the internet that say things, that share things that have touched and impacted me, and that resonated with me and helped me come to recognize these things I need to change, or I can improve, or that I'm doing okay, and I just keep at it, right? And so that's, I guess, what I'm, right? I'm going to commit to this. I'm going to keep going, even though it's not perfect. And that's the thing. That's the thing, the message I want to get across is, whatever it is you've decided to do, I did manage to get straight A's, but that doesn't actually mean I did perfectly. I didn't get 100% on everything, right? That isn't required. We don't have to give perfect results and everything all the time. And that's one of the things I've learned as an engineer. One of the things I always struggled with was the idea of project planning, because my perfectionism. Like, well, okay, we need to foresee all the possible outcomes. We need to foresee all the possible risks and costs and come up with a perfect timeline that it's always going to be right. And like when we're done, like, look, we said 2 months, and it was 2 months exactly, perfectly. And that's not how it works. And I struggled for a long time, like, I don't know how to do this. I don't know the timeline these things are going to take. How am I going to figure out how to plan something if I don't know how long it's going to take? I've never done it before. Felt like a chicken and egg problem. Well, eventually start to realize that you just have to do it. If you don't know yet, you give it your best shot. See if someone else around has an idea, and like, okay, well, it might take you around this long or this long, depending on these things. And like, okay, well, I'm going to write that down because it's the best I know. It's the best I can do today is write down a month and a half. Is that right? I don't know yet. We'll see in about a month. If I'm on track, well, you can see if you set smaller milestones about every week. Okay, this week, did I get about as much done as I hoped for? Yeah, I did. Next week, well, I struggled with this other thing, but I'm committed now. I need to see it through. And once you get far enough along, you can get an idea of how well things been going, and you can start to take stock of what's going well and what's not going well. But the important thing is you see it through to the end, and if it takes 2 months to get it done, well, maybe you have to make some sacrifices or changes or rearrange your schedule to make it work. But now after you've done it, you can recognize next time how to improve. Like next time, okay, this thing I thought would have been a month and a half, it took 2. Next time I estimate something, how can I adjust for that? And that's the only way to learn, is by trying. And if I never try, I never fail, I never learn. And if I expect to only do something, if I can know how to do it perfectly, I'll never start. And if I never start, I'll never learn, and I'll never know how to do it better than I do today. And that's what's been holding me back my whole life. So there are things in my life that I have been committed to, and I have been working on those. But as I reflect in those quiet moments, I like taking walks, and I think maybe the next video I do, I'll actually do while I'm on my walk, because I have these thoughts and I have to kind of try and remember them, get back, change, and start hitting the recording. I'm thinking, what if the next time I just start recording while I'm on my walk and the thoughts are fresh. It's just, might be hard to see, but I don't know if that will work out well. But I'll have to give it a try and see what happens, right? But I'm committed now to actually doing something. And these thoughts that I have while I'm out on my walk, they can be, important, profound things that during the hustle and bustle of the day don't have time for. And that's one of the things I've learned recently, is this idea of the silence, spending time in the silence. This was a few months ago. Can't remember where I saw this one exactly also, but I saw it shared with my wife, and that day or next day when we found a moment to sit down on the couch for half an hour with nothing on and just sit. And the idea is to accept the silent, it's meditation, right? In a way, it was basically just meditation, but it wasn't repeating any mantras or anything. Just sit long enough to clear your mind fully, let it stay clear, and then the idea was to wait until something comes into your mind, let that thing come into your mind, and then go do that thing. And as I thought about what this person was saying, I realized that's prayer. That's, meditation and prayer have different names for, I kind of think basically the same thing. Same with this idea of sitting in the silence. You pray to God saying, these are the things I'm looking for. This is what I want to do. This is what I will do. And then you have to listen. Then you have to listen and wait and give him space to reach out. Give him space to touch your heart and your mind. Read scripture, read his word, but sometimes just let him speak to you. And I can't remember what it was on that day that came to mind, but I recently learned about, the benefits of walking more versus running, and this, that, and other thing about exercise. And okay, I should do more walks. And one of the things I've really come to enjoy about doing just walks instead of like a run or other types of exercise, which I also do, is you're not trying to push yourself to keep going, don't stop, which is a good thing about running. It is, but it's a different good thing from walking. And going on my walks, I've had time to have these moments of silence. And it's like a 2-for-1, right? Where I get to have my moment of silence and be working out. There's so many health benefits to just walking. And I've seen them in my own life. And these thoughts that come to mind are about hard things sometimes. Things that I've put off, things that I have wanted to hide from myself. And as I've had to grapple with these things and come to terms with them, it's been something that's helped me make changes in my life and recognize places I need to improve. Many of them have been about how I show up as a father, as a husband, like at work. Like, am I just coasting through? And that's why I decided to talk about this idea of commitment. Is how many things have I just let coast, just go on autopilot? And like, okay, I need to decide on something to commit to. In recent history, I committed more. I've committed more and more over time to being present for my children. It's always something I've wanted to do, but I've realized that I hadn't committed to. I hadn't sat down and said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this time to that time, no work. This time to that time will be this. So this other time is free for them. Or I'm going to commit to these steps to progress in my career so that by the time my kids reach these years of their life, I'm more present. Those sorts of things. And now that I've made commitments to those goals, I can work towards them and I can measure progress toward them, like I talked about with project planning a little bit ago, right? And that's what I realized I need to do. Well, I'm not perfect, no. Sometimes I get home late from work and I'm like, why? Why'd I do that? I spent another 40 minutes trying to fix something that didn't work. That's 40 minutes I wasn't home with my kids. And the next morning I come in and realize that I was doing it all wrong anyway. And it takes like 10 minutes to fix it. So why did I spend the 40 minutes? Well, it was a learning opportunity. That's what it is. But I wouldn't be able to frame it without knowing what I'm committed to. And I'm committed to be a better man. I have learned so much about what that means. I've a lot yet to learn, but not just being a boy, growing up, playing his video games, but being a man, a husband, a father, being present, being a son of God. And that's why I led with that as my identity last time, because it all comes down to that. I am a son of God. You are a son or daughter of God, whoever's watching this. You have access to his power and all rights and dominion. He will support you, help you. He loves you. When I came to find out that for myself, I was 17, 18, I think it was before 19. I think it was somewhere around 17, 18. It was the end of my high school that I came to realize for myself that God is real. Like, I don't remember how exactly, but I knew for myself. I was like, this changes everything. This changes purpose of life. There is purpose to life. And over time, I've come to learn more and more and come closer and closer to my Heavenly Father, and that has changed it all. So I'm committed now to Him and helping others come to realize what I did as well. So I hope these things come off as something that are general good life lessons, principles of life that anyone can apply, while also recognizing that they come from God. God cares about the details of your life. He doesn't just want you to come home to heaven. He wants you to have a good life here too. And that's what I'm committed to. So I hope whoever watches this enjoys. I'll see you around on the next time. Bye for now.